Hey, it's Heather, back with another video. So this is another Scrap Diva Designs cutting die. It's her Halloween shaker front album die, and I love it so much. You don't have to make it a shaker die, but I decided to. And let's listen. Don't you love it? I used buttons from Button Up. I cut off the backs to be able to glue them flat. And then I used just some sequins in different places. I cannot find my plain acetate. I did just decide to use, I believe this is Scrap Diva Designs as well, from her collection a couple years ago maybe. And it's just spider webs. So maybe we'll go to, I don't know, what do you call this? The rings. So as you can see, I tied some ribbons. So much fun. I really like that one. I think it just adds something to it. I used some beads. I love that. Pumpkin, heart, ghosty, sun, star, cool shimmer, another pumpkin, and then I used just another one of the orange pumpkins and all that kind of stuff. These are actually something in the fishing section of your local Walmarts. Very cheap. And you can, I've cut these off before because obviously they're meant to go in water and sink and attach fishes. Attract fishes. But this time I just decided to leave them on. Okay. And then, as you can see, your girl's thick there. I used this little paper pad. It's a 6x6. I got it from my bestie. She got it from that app, Whatnot. Dangerous. I used a spider web corner die to make a tuck pocket. And then, you know, sometimes I start making stuff and it might not necessarily go with what I'm wanting to work with. And then I hate to like waste it. So I said, well, we can take die cuts and just kind of tuck them in this pocket. Just something fun, you know? And then I had some more of that acetate left. So I used some of that spray stuff that you get from Tim Holtz. And I sprayed it on an ATC card. And then I used the acetate and put it over that. And then on the back, I put some cute little, I think these were from Dollar General this year. And then I think those stickers were from Temu. And then I just used a cut apart and kind of made it a tag. And then I used the tiny attacher from Tim Holtz to attach a scrap piece. Usually what I'll do on your paper pads, you know, when you have the strips at the bottom or the top, I will cut those and then I use those doing stuff like this. And that's the back. And then I love this Tim Holtz die. And then I actually did put something so I could journal later. Don't want nobody seeing what I wrote. And then this is the second page. I did a couple clusters of pictures. And then I just put some cute little paper clips. I had made that years ago and I said, oh, well, that goes good. So use that. And then I just rounded some corners and made some journaling cards there. And then I used the Tim Holtz fringe, which, I don't know, I guess it kind of didn't. I think it would have looked better. And then I took part of the die and made it a pocket. And then this page, I don't know if you guys remember years ago, I don't know if we all were, but you take the 1-inch paper cutter and you cut out the 1 inch and then you can make bottle caps. Well, this is the bottle cap stickers. And so I was just digging through some of my crafty stuff because I want to try to use some of this stuff up and not just hoard it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I remember doing that. So that's what I did here. I created this pocket. This is just a coffin tag that I made. Journaling spot, picture. You know, I enjoy taking pictures like this, and I feel as if we don't use them. And I really like to throw these in projects because I love this picture. Look at the pumpkins. I mean, I love pumpkins. This is a cemetery in South Carolina. And another tag with some journaling. And then, again, a tiny attacher. And then I used, you know, this 6x6 has, it will have it attached to a spine. And then it has that hole. So then I just cut it. And then that's what I used. This I used, I think this is part of the cut aparts. And then I just used some of the cut aparts to make some tags, which is lots of fun. Tags. I really like this tag shape. It's my favorite. I use it in tons of projects. Let's hang. Isn't that cool? And then I really do like that purple and stars. And then I think it was from Joann's, R.I.P. And I just colored it with some markers. It's a wood. And then I just used a little tuck spot that I had. And then I put some of these. I actually messed it up, so I had to add these. So actually it ended up working out good. You wouldn't even know. Then I made some tags again. These are stickers from Dollar General this year. And then I just put some pumpkins there. And then some of this. And then a journaling spot. Which I like to just kind of do some of the journaling spots. And then, again, I have like a belly band. And I used, again, that 1-inch paper cutter with the bottle cap sticker. And it has, can you see it? Yeah, glitter. So these are glittery ones. You can get plain ones too. I don't know. Do we even use any of the bottle caps anymore? I haven't seen bottle cap crafts in forever. I don't know about you guys. Ghosties from Tim Holtz. I just stamped them in silver. And then I just cut them out. And then, of course, you could put lines on the back from stamps or what have you. This is a, what is that material? MDF or cardboard. And then I just made a tag out of it. And the tiny attacher did great. I didn't think, focus. I didn't think if it was going to be okay. Because I was like, oh, I don't know. This is kind of thick. But it did fine. Another tag. And then another Tim Holtz. I love the Boonique. They're like some of my favorite. And then, of course, I just love that. And then I did another one of the 1-inch paper with the little stickers. And then I made this just a tuck spot. I just put some, these are cemeteries that were in South Carolina. My best friend lives down there, so a couple times when we've gone down, I just take pictures of these really old cemeteries. What I like about their cemeteries, too, is they actually have fires. Some of the ones have fire pits, and you can tell people use them. It's really cool. Here's this page. I did a belly band. And then I think this is a die from AliExpress. I love it. You can do candies and stuff like that, but I just thought it looked better with that. Again, I think this is Dollar General sticker, Temu stickers, and then, oh yeah, and then a journaling spot that you can do. And then another tuck spot, just use some tags. And then I just cut part of it just to have a tucker spot. And then I did another bottle cap sticker. And then for the last page, I love these little ghoul monsters. I just used a heart and just made that a tuck spot. And then I just put some pictures. Again, leaves. Oh, love that. And then I just used those bottle cap stickers. Again, and then that's the back. I made it plain. Nothing to see, so yeah, that's it for this project share. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!